Okay, it's Facebook time and it's hashtag time. The worlds have finally collided, so we're going to teach you how to use that effectively. Stay tuned. Okay, let's talk about hashtags on Facebook. This didn't even used to be a thing. I remember when hashtags first came to Facebook and everyone's like, oh my gosh, the Twitter and everything's crossing over. And I was actually with my daughter the other night. She has my old flip phone. The other night we actually went through a 10-year-old little box that we put everything together in. We thought we'd be super cool like 10 years ago and write letters to our kids and put all these things in there. And there was this old phone, this old flip phone in there that just had the LED screen, and on the bottom there's a pound sign. My daughter's like, oh look, there's a hashtag. I'm like, well, actually it's been around longer than the hashtag. It's the pound sign. So let's talk hashtags when it comes to Facebook, because they don't behave the same way as they do on Instagram. They don't behave the same way they do on Twitter. They'll logistically, make the connections, but people interact with hashtags differently depending on the platform that they're on. With Facebook, you don't want to overdo it, and that's the thing with hashtags. And Instagram, they're used as a huge communication tool, but think about why people come to Facebook. They come to interact with people. Sometimes they come for trending news. If you're anything like me, you'll find any of your news clips on Facebook. You'll find out what's happening in the world. So hashtags are great for that. But if you're just using it in a regular post, you don't want to use them too much or go overboard on them, because they clutter up your feed. So let's go to the screen here. I'm going to show you what a basic post using hashtags in a really efficient and a positive way that doesn't come across overbearing, that doesn't come across just overloaded. I actually copied one of my Instagram posts directly to Facebook, and there's of course 30 hashtags on Instagram. When it goes to Facebook, I have people like, what's with all the hashtags? What the heck? What's going on? So I try to keep my hashtags between 3 and 5 per post if I'm going to use them. I don't even always use them on Facebook, but if you do, here's how to do it. So I'm going to make a post on my personal page. You can see I'm on my personal page right here, not a business page, not a business anything. It's just me up there, okay? And I have myself, positioned as I'm a public speaker. I do all these fun things, but I'm going to make a post relevant to my travel blog, which I run. So this isn't really a business post because there's no call to action, but it is going to share a little bit of what I do on the side. So first of all, I need to post a picture. I don't always have to post a picture with hashtags. It's just generally easier to. So I'm going to add a photo here. Click on that photo button, and then I'm going to search for my photo that I just downloaded from my Google Drive. Image 8344. There it is. Perfect. All right, load that puppy up. I'm going to open that thing, and I've got my Facebook Live, going, not Facebook Live video, but you're going to see all the notifications as they come up on my screen here. Okay, so this photo is a photo that I took while I was in Shanghai. I was there a couple years ago on our way down to Bali, and we had a 24-hour layover in Shanghai. So we actually booked a hotel right downtown. It's the Royal International Hotel. It was opulent. So this hotel had anodized glass walls. It had super nice. But the funny thing about Shanghai is that there's no zoning laws. And here in the US we have zoning laws, which means that you can't have this industrial park with just a house in the middle of it. In China, or at least in this part of Shanghai, they didn't have those. So I'm staying in this super nice hotel, and outside across the street there's mattresses and fish guts and corrugated steel shopping center. It was weird. It was weird to say the least, because just that contrast was so stark. But I want to share a little bit about that on the story on Facebook, and I'm going to use some hashtags, all right? So I'm going to write a little bit of a post and say, check out this chandelier at this hotel, this massive chandelier at this hotel we stayed in Shanghai. Make sure that's spelled right. Don't want to be insulting people. I think there's an extra H in there. There we go. Okay, cool. Check out this massive chandelier at this hotel we stayed at in Shanghai. The hotel was gorgeous. And then I would say you wouldn't have, make sure your spelling is right, thank you, little red dotted lines, have guessed that there was a fishmonger. I think that's the right word for a guy who sells fish. I don't think I'll use monger because that just sounds weird. Fish market across the street in the slums. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna get some conversations going on there like, what? Wait, what do you mean slums? This is a super nice 5-star hotel. So, you know, it's gonna have some conversations, but now it's time for the hashtags. So I've got my post, I've got a little bit of, you know, content in there, I've got my image in there. So now I wanna use some hashtags. And I would say something like traveling China. Maybe I'll use another hashtag that say limitless travels. I was with my limitless peeps. And maybe I'm going to use a unique hashtag. See, here's the thing with hashtags is that there's general hashtags. Like if I do a traveling China hashtag, anyone that clicks on a hashtag is going to find all of the content that also has the same hashtag. So I'm going to use traveling China so people can come and find me. But now I'm going to use a hashtag so that they can explore more of me. So my unique hashtag is Light Travels. And I also use Light Travels blog. Okay, so once they get to me through a Light Travels China, or maybe I can do one Globetrotter. Okay, so I'll do Globetrotter or travel photography. Okay, this is pushing it on my hashtags. I've got 2 lines, I've got 6 hashtags. It's pushing it. I probably would take one of these out. If I were to take one out, I would take out Globetrotter just because I know that travel photography has a higher rate of transactions or interactions on Facebook. So I've got 5 travel hashtags there. I've got traveling China, limitless travels, light travels, right travels blog, travel photography. They're going to find me with traveling China and travel photography. They're going to stay with me through limitless travels, light travels, and light travels blog. So they find me with some hashtags. They're going to stay and play with me with other hashtags because they're unique to me. So if I want them to see more of me, I'm going to keep my unique hashtags in my Facebook posts. So again, it's very, very easy. It doesn't take anything other than typing the pound sign and typing the rest of the word. Now, be aware of this, and you might already know this, but when you're traveling or when you're typing with hashtags, if you put a space after your word, it's going to create a new hashtag. So let's say you've got a hashtag with several words in it that might be hard to tell apart if they're all mushed together. All you need to do is capitalize the first letter of each word within your hashtag. So if I've got Light Travels blog, some people could read that as Light Travels splog. And I don't want them to. I want them to read it right. So I'm going to capitalize the B. I'm going to capitalize, especially since, look at this, I've got 2 T's right here, right next to each other. I'm going to capitalize the T and the L. So it looks better. It says Light Travels blog instead of Light Travels blog. It's just visually more appealing. Okay, keep that T capitalized. Traveling China. I'm going to capitalize that. I'm going to capitalize my limitless travels. Again, I've got another instance here where I've got this multiple letter thing. Now, both of those belong to the first word, but I just want to make it cleaned up. All right, now I've got that double letter thing. I'm going to make that all clean. So I've got 5 hashtags here. Again, that's pretty much my limit per Facebook post. Check out this massive chandelier at the hotel we stayed in Shanghai. Hotel was gorgeous. You wouldn't have guessed that there's a fish market across the street in the slums. Perfect. That's perfect enough. I've got 5 hashtags there. I've got my photo. All I need to do is click post. And then that's it. I've got this amazing picture of this cool chandelier with this incredible table in downtown Shanghai. Incredible. Now, this is how hashtags work. I've got my hashtags up and you can see they're all blue. And when you hover over them, there's an underline. When that's the case, you can click on that hashtag, boom, and see where else people have. Look, I've got traveling China right here. Traveling. Oh, cool. This is another travel blogger. I might want to connect with this guy. Awesome. I'm going to check out his profile. I've got another nomad traveler here. I've got traveling China right here. It looks like I connect with a bunch of other bloggers or travel bloggers to, collaborate or maybe, see what their content looks like, see what their pictures look like. Hashtagging is super easy, and you can use it to find new pages and new content. So let's try it out. Let's try searching some hashtags here. Let's think of a hashtag that we want to check out. Maybe you're looking forward to a trip you want to take to Bali. So let's check out the hashtag Bali, or maybe even more specifically, traveling Bali. Okay, I'd search that. I'm going to find all of these things that are relevant to that hashtag. Everything that has that hashtag in it is going to show up right here within this search. So I've got a few people that are posting some pictures. I've got people that are sharing their travel blogs. Again, I'm very specific to traveling. Now let's say you wanted to look up other mentors or public speakers. So you could do hashtag public speaker. And you don't need to register your hashtags with any of the Facebook or anything. As soon as you put in a hashtag, it's going to create a brand new hashtag. So if I do hashtag public speaker, it's going to come up with a lot. So I've got friends first that I'm going to see. I've got public posts that I'm going to see. It's going to just keep going and going and going and going here. Okay, then it's going to give me some related searches. I don't know why magic beans are on there, whatever that means. Okay, so hashtags are a great way to search, to find common threads, to find common interests, to find people in your industry that are trying to do the same thing that you're doing, to find collaborations, to find joint ventures. So use them wisely on Facebook. Don't max out more than 5. Keep them really short and to the point, and short and sweet, and have fun with them, guys. Make your own hashtags. Do some things that are fun. You can find all sorts of things, all sorts of threads. Create a movement with your hashtags. Especially when you're doing events. Let's say that you put on an event. It's for Valentine's Day. You've got Valentine's Day 2018 dinner that you put on. If you create a new hashtag, you can do that for events. People do it for their weddings all the time. They'll hashtag their name and the date, and everyone can link. If you've got people that are, shooting photos at your event, ask them to use your hashtag so that you can go find and collect all those photos and posts and testimonials. A great way to collect your testimonials from your audience. A great way to stay connected. So use them wisely on Facebook. All right, so you're on Facebook. You're using your hashtags, you're creating connections all over the place. Tell me if there's anything I missed, anything that you want to know more about when it comes to Facebook or social media or business in general. Leave a comment below. I'll make a video and I'll see you tomorrow.